So I talk a lot about how, our problems make sense, our patterns are adaptive and functional and coherent. I talk about how our problems began as solutions and that, we figured out how to survive the best way that we possibly could, considering our circumstances, our environment, our resources. And that is like a foundational piece of the way that I approach therapy and healing. And I think we can understand that intellectually, right? But my favorite moment in therapy is when I get to see someone really feel that truth and connect with that on an emotional embodied level. It's usually just kind of this wave, this rush of realizing, oh my God, I really did do a good job surviving. It's this release of shame and usually this feeling of profound gratitude and appreciation and respect for yourself. And a lot of the times what we're kind of realizing in that moment is I really had no other way. What I did, how I adapted, how I survived was absolutely necessary. And my body and my brain figured out the only things that I could really do in that circumstance to protect myself. And once we really connect with that profound sense of respect and appreciation and compassion for ourselves, that is where deep healing and change can really start in my experience. Because if we are continuing to struggle with those patterns, what's happening, right, is there are parts of us that haven't realized that our circumstances have changed. There are parts of us that are still living, in that space, in that environment where these certain patterns and adaptations became necessary. So then the work is to help those parts of us come into the present, help those parts of us learn, what is different today as an adult where we maybe don't need these same protective tools anymore. Continuing to struggle with these patterns from our past means there are parts of us that don't really know that those things are from the past. It still feels present. It still feels current and necessary to be in these protective adaptations. So that's where, we go to create those deep transformational changes. But it all starts with having that profound compassion and respect for the ways that we adapted and how much sense they really make.